Inside my heart, a fire burned with the heat of 1,000 water heater explosions for LA Noire. Welcome back, everyone. So, last time Cole Phelps started his not so illustrious time at the Arson desk, being pawned off on Herschel Biggs as his partner, who did so reluctantly. But anyway, the fires seem to have a weird conspiracy behind them. There's some odd things definitely happening with them. So let's continue on with that investigation with Cole Phelps. See how deep the rabbit hole goes. Of course, I forgot that I actually need to be going to the cases because of how I had to do the save files. Anyway, here we go. A walk in Elysian fields.
House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
Mouthpiece door strips off.
He stares out the window in deep contemplation.
Now the DA wants my head.
Anyway.
I don't know what makes you say stupid, but it really works.
So things are taking a turn for the worse now.
Phelps.
We have even more. We have even more house fires with dead people. This does not seem like a coincidence. Drive like a crazy person. Let's go.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
The new housing development is a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers. Cut it out!
It is unfortunate.
Shame about Jeff. The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? Fella kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
That's true. Those things by themselves are not illegal. Nor is showing up to a house fire to watch it. Although I think watching a house burn down and not calling the fire department, I think that is a crime, isn't it? Not sure. I think it depends on the Good Samaritan laws in the city that you live in. I gotta tell you guys, I really like this section of the game for the story, at least, and kind of where Cole Phelps' character goes and Herschel Biggs and all that. But the driving is a pain in the ass. It's so long in this section.
You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Don't worry, man. We've seen it all. We've seen everything. There's nothing in this house that could possibly surprise us.
Do you have a name?
Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family.
Okay. Anything else?
To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved.
Ooh.
I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved him into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
That's a good point.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
Just ask a question, Biggs. Don't take it personal or anything. It's something to think about. But yeah, it's like somebody came in here and made them all post them all like they were praying or something.
What are they doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. Muscles and tendons contract.
Or maybe the fire did it. No, I think either the person did that intentionally, like post them that way intentionally somehow, or they knew that would happen.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
That doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt. For the fires? For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. Probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
You could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
I'm sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating Biggs.
I'm pretty sure it's the fact that there's 4 dead people in this house. That could possibly be a problem.
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
That's true. There's always some.
I've done this for years.
That's true. There's always some nosy neighbor that
You
has
don't
to
look like a fireman.
poke their nose in other people's business, which is going to be good for us in this case. But before we get more evidence, looky here. For some reason, there's a newspaper just hanging out.
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven.
Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Okay, so as it turns out, the person who has been setting these fires is one of the good doctor's clients, apparently. And Cole Phelps's assessment of what happened there was apparently a little bit off. He is trying to make them be together, but it's not because he feels bad about it. It's because he thinks that everyone should be dead and be dead together. So, you know, it was intentional on this time, apparently. Whereas the first time,
same model.
Whereas the first time seemed like it was an accident. This time seems like it was intentional. Yep, Reginald Varley. He was the one that served this one, but we already know that he didn't do it. Anyway, we had a neighbor that very obviously walked over here. But first,
someone was keeping watch. Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive.
okay.
Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere.
So our case of the guy liking to watch the fires is further proven.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Alright, Mr. Foreman, you look like an asshole, so let's get this started.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
I don't know. You don't seem to be very helpful right now, so...
You didn't like Morelli, did you?
Some neighbors you get along with, some you don't. Guess they should have sold up.
What do you mean?
They're knocking down all these old houses and building a new subdivision for GIs. Morelli was being difficult.
Aha, so once again we have a case of everybody in the neighborhood selling their house except for one house, and then the people in the house just, you know, just so happen to win a trip to not be in their house, and then their house burns down.
Did you see anyone hanging around the Morelli's home prior to the explosion?
Nope. Can't say as I was looking out, though.
And he's looking shifty-eyed and kind of gazing down again. This guy's being a real jerk-ass about not giving us information.
You sure, Mr. Foreman? There are signs of someone hanging around over there by the fence.
Hey, now that you come to think of it, there was a guy. Kind of tall. Skinny, though.
Anything else?
Orange lumber jacket, beat-up hat, and no hair. I thought he was the pest exterminator guy who was working around here the last few days. But that guy had hair.
So you just admitted you're a complete idiot.
You said someone is knocking these houses down?
Elysian Fields. You must know them. They're billboards. That Monroe character beaming down at you. We've had an offer for the house.
Did the Morellis want to sell?
I don't know.
You just said you didn't know.
Whatever you thought of Morelli,
Or didn't
his
know.
whole family is dead. They couldn't have all deserved that. I want you to help me here, Foreman.
Morelli was pig-headed. He built the house himself. He didn't want to sell. Stubborn fool was ruining it for all of us.
You said the Morellis had won a weekend away to Catalina Island?
Yeah, that's right. First thing I thought after the explosion was, thank goodness they was away. Then I find out they was still in there.
Who was running the competition?
What? I don't know.
This guy's really hard to tell if he's telling the truth or not. But this time he happens to be telling the truth, I think.
You didn't enter yourself?
I'd already agreed to sell. The competition was an incentive for those who were still thinking about it.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Foreman.
Sure. Hey, if you're interested, I have one of those competition flyers in the kitchen. I could get it for you if you like.
That would be great.
Any luck, Cole?
Couple of things. What did you pick up?
Hold a piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Okay, Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Well, it looks like the crazy guy that was in the opening cutscene is well on his way to that wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields developments.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
But you already sold. Why do they keep sending them to you? I guess they're just mass sending them to everybody. Well, I believe that is it for our clue finding. But the music's still kind of acting like... Whoops, wrong button. Sorry. Music's still acting like, there's something else to find. I thought I found everything already. Yeah, so... so I've kind of looked everywhere, I think, and I can't find anywhere that there's more evidence to find. So... I'm not sure why the music was still playing.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Blades on the Morelli farm.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe? He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
All these cops. There's got to be something.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry guys, I'm still poking around. I can't... I found all the clues there, I'm fairly certain. I don't know why it's saying I didn't. Anyway, our captain told us not to go to Elysian Fields, so we'll go to this place instead.
You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
It's an odd sentiment.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for a
Smart
fray.
mouth son of a bitch.
Come back here.
That's not a good way to de-escalate the situation, officer.
Stand down! That's an order!
Pacify these poor saps.
Come on then. I'm gonna bust you right.
Aren't you guys former Marines?
You're going down, you.
Don't fight very well for a former Marine. I could have pushed B to finish. I screwed up.
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Let's do that indeed. And let me check this again. It's acting like I don't have any intuition points. Yeah, okay. I guess I did find all the clues in the last files like I thought. Okay. At this point in the game, you're just supposed to have full intuition all the time. Anyway, let's investigate this with good old Herschel.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap.
Indeed it was.
If we're paying a visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
And all the clues show the show all clues is gone, so I guess we found all the clues. Yeah, I must have just, whenever I did the save data over here, I must have turned off the thing. There we go, yeah. Okay. So that's what happened. The game settings were set to be where the clue music wouldn't turn off when you found all the clues. So that was my mistake. That was my oversight. I thought it was I thought I'd already set that. Oh well. Alright, let's go. Yeah, get that action music playing. Driving. Off-road. Woo! Oh, what? That was a hill! Why did I bounce off it like that? That's crazy. I should have went up the hill, not bounced off it like that. That's nuts. Well, this is bound to go well.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
So we have to deal with that secretary, and then we're going to have to deal with this secretary.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
I would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office.
Like all these people are acting like he's too important to be under a criminal investigation. Like, look, I know you have criminal investigation to conduct, but you have to come in here weeks before you get one.
Cigar. Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs.
What's with our partners liking to drink? Oh, I did not mean to do that. I thought I had to hit exit to exit it, and it did not. It just ends by itself.
We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
By telling the truth, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
I'm not buying it. Your smile's wavering too much.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecue, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
Probably not, no.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
He's really shifty eyed, so you know he's not telling the truth. But here we're going to tell him to lie, say that he's lying, or as if he was the manager, like the CEO of a huge company like this, he may not know anything about the promotions that are running. Somebody else would be handling that, I would think. But yeah.
Level with me, Mr. Monroe. You know all about the vacation offers.
You can believe whatever you like, son. You're missing the vital ingredient called proof.
Well, I guess his name is on it, so maybe we can do that.
Your face is all over the flyers, Mr. Monroe. You know about the prizes, and you're aware that they get given to holdouts.
My face is the brand. It's on all our advertising. Did you know that the mayor and the chief of police are part of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund? You want to accuse them of murder as well?
Maybe.
We've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
That's actually not true.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense.
It actually just kind of makes sense. They might do that. I know they won't like it. So if they were a particularly immoral person, they may decide to do this burning out thing. But there might be something more to this whole situation.
What's Elysian Fields' involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulation.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
Yeah. The sad thing about this guy, too, is he's a far worse liar than the neighbor was at the beginning of this case. His giveaways are way stronger, which I believe is just because they want you to not feel the case.
You're lying, Monroe. There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's no way in hell you can prove that my materials were inferior.
Except that we went and looked at the houses and they were made of inferior product.
I'm no expert, but I think we'll find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think that they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them? The arsonists, do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for way bills, you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
I wonder why that was mentioned.
Glad to be of help, officers.
Completely innocent, I'm sure. He just, you know, it's just he just kind of mentioned it.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Oh, looky there.
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Does she have a phone? Doesn't look like it. Bit odd, but okay. Wonder if we could...
I got a call back for that university.
Does Leland Monroe have a phone in his office? Hey, Mr. Monroe. Oh, nope. I can clip through the door, but I can clip through the door, but I can't get quite all the way through it. That's unfortunate. I guess there's a phone in here.
Boss is a fine man.
Here's what I heard. That cop caught the guy that did the Dahlia, but they covered it up.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks, man.
Well, I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face delivers love for me in it. Give me your heart and baby I'll bin it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love. Some
Buy me a drink, Cole?
No! Not even for old time's sake? Not even for that.
You're not gonna ask me why I'm here?
I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to it.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about them, Roy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you. Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errand boy.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Stay away. You have no idea the type of people that are involved in that company.
I have a pretty good idea, Roy. The same kind of people that sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
Get the message about Monroe?
Yeah. Earl delivered it. You?
McKelty. He started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that, Herschel. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
KGPL calling car 11K, 11K.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did. But I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has, Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stum just like you do. I know what it feels like to get back from conflict. You gotta respect that.
So, Cole Phelps seems a little bit nervous about people finding out what actually happened there. And that was the location that he also became a hero at. So, something a little bit fishy's going on there. Also, that the mention of the California Fire and Life thing just told me. So what it appears to be happening is, if I may speculate a bit, and also because I know what's going to happen later. So what seems to be happening is they're making really crap houses, and the insurance company is coming by and saying, "Oh yeah, these houses are worth, you know, twice as much as what they actually are worth," and then they get burned down, and boom, look at all the extra money you got sitting around.
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him too. I need him to move his car so I can mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Yeah, he's out somewhere. Is there some kind
Let's
of problem?
take a look at the car.
Let's see what he's hauling around.
We know what it is. Why do we have to investigate it?
Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence. Definitely gives him opportunity.
Don't need this?
We should revise the APB. He's clearly armed.
That is an issue.
Hold it, Cole. There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat. Shit! He's seen us.
Cops! Again!
Stop doing illegal shit.
Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole.
After that trolley.
I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL. 11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar.
Holy shit.
Currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Yeah, we need to get ahead of them to try and get people off the road. Oh man.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him.
Trying to, man. He just matches this. He matches. Oh! Holy cow!
See if he can damage one of the wheels. Might act like a brake and slow the thing down.
What wheels?
Step on it, huh? Get me just a little closer.
Okay. I'm trying, man. It's not working very well.
Look, Cole, the side plate's gone. Give me.
There we go. No
End of
problem.
the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole.
Stop right there. Hey! What?
Looks like we have our man, Cole. Well done.
I'm not so sure. Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
The fires benefit Elysian in some way. I see Chapman and Monroe working together.
You have a point. The evidence is good for Chapman. Hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
That streetcar was doing something weird, jumping around there.
Nice work, gentlemen. Put yourself at considerable risk stopping that trolley and probably saved a lot of lives. Anyone else but you, Phelps, and you'd be up for a bravery award. We've had our eyes on that slippery son of a bitch Chapman for as long as I can remember. I couldn't be happier than to wipe him off the scoreboard. I hope this puts to bed that crazy stuff you had going about Leland Monroe. What were you thinking, Phelps? We'll be calling Richard Nixon a crook next.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He could never possibly be in a criminal investigation. There was a weird echoey effect to that, wasn't there?
What is it?
A letter from Lou.
His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on collapsed.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
What has that got to do with Lou?
I want you to reject this settlement. I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help Miss Kelso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He is a friend of yours?
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He deserves your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late. Years too late.
The plot thickens with Jack Kelso. Wait. I don't know. The audio sounded really weird at the end of there. Did it sound weird to anyone else? I don't know. I just gotta say, there's no way that this is accurate because I ran over people in some of the cutout footage, so I know I at least caused some injuries. Unless I just killed them, I guess there's no injuries to pay up for dead people. Anyway, that's it for this case. I will see you all next time, unless somehow the World War II scene plays here. Nope. Alright. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.